podcast where we just be outside. Today we outside again, and I'm here with my uncle. This is Uncle Mikey. His creativity rubs off a lot on me, and I know it. I take it every time I'm around him. I feel like I want to create. Good. And so I'm here. How you been, Uncle?
I am very, very good.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. What does this year look like for you so far?
Open when it comes towards new projects. I haven't been able to create like I used to. You know, life has been different and difficult, but now that a lot of hard times are behind us, I can actually get some things done.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
You know, it's so funny because I started reflecting on where the creativity came from in the beginning, and I see it in my kids now, where it urges from. It just comes and pours out of them so easily. But I have to give credit to Marlon.
Okay.
Marlon.
Okay.
My oldest brother, he challenged all of us to stay creative when we were young.
Dope.
And I still have the fruits of that labor from way back when. I think he and his best friend Tone thought that these drawings had just vanished, and I still have them all.
Oh, they don't even know you have them.
No, I think that I sent a message to Tone that I do have them.
Oh, come on.
I don't know if Marlon even knows that I have a lot of his early drawings.
What?
Like, he stopped for years and years, but I'm so grateful that he's back into it, and he has his own style and he does his own thing, and he keeps pumping them out. So knowing the fact that he's creating again, it gives me a new urge to create again, and I want to branch out and do different things now, see what I can do, because it's been capped up and limited when it comes towards time for 9 years. I haven't been able to do much, you know, for 9 full years.
And now all of it just gets, oh my gosh, you about to make some crazy stuff.
Oh my God. I mean,
I can already see it.
I mean, think about that. I'm as far as when it comes towards creativity, I've been wrapped up in it for such a long time. And to know that it's been under lock and key and then suppressed for so long. I mean, I'm seeing some people that I used to work with at the academy, and they're still doing their thing. They're even going bigger than ever. Shout out to Nicholas. My boy Nicholas he made an animated film that just broke the Guinness Book of World Records when it comes towards the awards that it's gotten.
What?
God damn.
And you taught him?
I never taught him.
Oh.
Never taught this dude. I was his advisor for a minute.
Okay.
But I mean, he
just slight flex.
Exactly. I was his advisor, but he took what he was learning from what the academy was giving him and just ran with it. And I saw a lot of students do that, and to the point where I'm still friends with them, and I'm still keeping my student. I miss my students, man.
That's dope.
I used to teach for such a long time. It was so much fun, and to see them flourish and do their thing. I mean, one of the students that I used to be the academic coach for got his own tattoo shop.
What?
I see him becoming a dad on just seeing him do his thing from afar. Another one is across the bay. He got his little tattoo place and he's doing real good professional work.
Dope. That's dope. What was teaching like? What was teaching these people like?
I taught illustration for 5 years. But before that, I was a academic advisor and a associate director, all in the academy. It was during the academy's prime, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, seeing these students arrive on the scene, fresh, nervous, and real new, but with eager confidence that just was raw and untampered with. But the academy was no joke, so it would put them through the ringer.
Wow!
But my class was for new illustrators, freshmen. Okay. It was strictly for freshmen.
Okay.
So I'm seeing the raw talent that these students were coming with.
They're just going crazy.
Oh my God. met so many different people, different personalities, and I had a teaching partner. Shout out to Eli. And his method was so different than mine. He graduated from the academy, so he knew the ropes about how to be a teacher. He's been teaching a lot longer than I had, and so he was teaching them the things that he learned and the foundations and how to be a quick artist when it comes towards sketching. And his style is so, oh my God.
You said his name is Eli?
Eli Harris. And
Eli
just
Harris.
a dope artist, and he's quick. So he knew how to do the quick sketches so fast, just blow you away. And just a stance and the pose and it was,
I don't think I could ever be able to even come close to anything you guys are able to do.
Oh, man, I think you're going to do it when it comes towards what's coming. When it comes towards film and whatnot.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that with everybody and their passion, you can see it. I think that's something we all connect with. I think people in general, when you get that passionate feeling when just talking about what you love to do, you can feel it in your chest. You can feel it in your chest. And every time I talk about video work, camera work, piano, music, I feel that in my chest. And I can see it when you're talking about art.
My hands start shaking.
You get excited.
I get so
excited.
Juiced up.
Excited, yes.
It's funny because like my mom, her eyelashes start to flutter when she gets excited. And my hand starts tingling. I start doing the little, evil
my
thing.
palms are getting sweaty.
And I mean, that's what's so wonderful about creativity. It truly is contagious.
Yes.
If you create something, not unless somebody is like, they think more scientific and mathematical, it's hard to get them to get in the creative mode. But if you're around another creative and you do something dope, you hear something dope, you see something dope, you want to create something just as dope.
Right.
I mean, that's why one of the lessons that I used to teach in the class was be careful of what you feed yourself. And everybody's thinking I'm talking about food, and I'm not. Everybody likes a little bit of raunchy things and stuff, a little garbage for the brain, reality TV, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the guilty pleasures.
Exactly. Yeah. I got mine, everybody got theirs. But if you feed yourself too much of it, it will start to spill out in your work. But if you feed yourself masterpieces, nothing but the cream of the crop. That's what you're going to strive to create. You're not going to create anything that's half-assed or something that you can quit on or you say, yeah, that's good enough.
You lose motivation.
Yeah, it's good enough. I'll just stop right here. No, you just listen to this.
Right.
You were just, while you were creating, you were listening to Charlie Parker.
Right.
How are you going to stop?
How can you fail?
Come on
how
now.
Can you fail?
You better be listening. You better be pumping out something spectacular. If you're feeding yourself nothing but classics, watch Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, and then go and make some garbage. No, you're going to make something tremendous, something that is of that caliber. So feed yourself masterpieces, but also at the same time, it's okay to have multiple projects going on at the same time. You can have this developing idea. You can have the one thing you are concentrated on right now, but then you can also have the masterpiece that you've been just plucking at forever. This one's going to take probably by the end of next year to finish.
Okay.
You're not in any rush to finish it.
Right.
Because once people see it, they're going to see the time you put into it.
Yes.
So that could be on the back burner.
And you just coming out with other.
But in the meantime, you could always go back to that. So there's never an excuse. Oh, I don't have anything to create right now. I have a brain fart. I'm just in between projects. No. Go back and plug on the masterpiece. There's no reason for you to stop the creativity. Keep it flowing. That masterpiece is your symphony.
Yeah.
You're not planning on dropping that. Not anytime soon. Nobody's even going to see it. There's a wonderful film called Mr. Holland's Opus. Have you seen that?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Oh my God.
See, I got masterpieces to watch.
Yeah, you really do. That film is so phenomenal because you see how life can make a shortcut and a detour for you. It's not even your plan. I had this plan, but life took me on a different route, and I ended up in a strange spot, completely disappointed. I never got a chance to do what I was planning on doing. All the while, this guy who was kind of an artist that was misunderstood and never got his moment, never released his masterpiece, not knowing that his masterpiece was being built his entire life, his entire journey. He ended up in a strange spot, but his masterpiece was this whole thing. So at the end of the film, you see him finally get a chance to see and hear this masterpiece that he's been working on all this time. And it's such a powerful message to the creative to never, ever stop working on what you love. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. I'm not making it for you, though.
Okay, I'll pause you right there. When I create, I get in a fight with myself off of who is this for? Because I am making it for me, and I do, but then that feeling of I like it, so they should like it. I want them to feel what I'm feeling right now. But then sometimes I don't, and that's really crushing. How do you handle somebody not reacting to your masterpiece the way? Okay. I'm so glad you agree.
Oh my God, with the biggest F. Fuck them so hard because it really isn't for them. I mean, it's funny because that's another topic of every creative. They're like, what about the audience? What about the audience? Act like you have no audience. Because you're really, 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 for the heart of hearts, are not making it for them. If it's, I have to go back to Prince, because Prince, I think he said it best. He was like, the music that I'm creating is not for you.
He told his fans that?
He's telling this in an interview.
Oh, wow.
I'm not making this for y'all. I'm making this for me.
I heard that.
The fact that you enjoy it is a plus, but it's not what I'm doing this for. And that to me it might sound selfish too. It might sound extremely selfish and cold a little bit. Like you have no connection towards your fans.
Right, but it's not about
But that is not it.
Right.
Because I'm making it for me, I'm making it the best it could be.
Right.
So I know you're gonna like it.
you have to because it's the best.
You don't even have a choice because I know this shit is dope. I already know you're gonna like it because it is that good.
Yeah.
I already know you're gonna. So I know you're gonna come along. And if you don't, you know what? That's okay too
because they will.
Somebody's gonna like it. Somebody's gonna like this.
And I think that's what keeps me going is somebody does like it. And it's usually like the people I want to be excited about it. And then when I hear or see that other people aren't excited, it's like, okay, I did get the dopamine from the people that were excited though. Okay.
But you know what? And it's funny too, because I was doing, I was a YouTuber. I stopped for a long time. I fell off. But the channel's still there, and I'm proud of the work I did while I was doing it. But I would get so frustrated for painting it for hours and hours and hours and recording it and editing and adding the music and everything, and then I drop it and God damn it, nobody's even watching this shit. Oh,
that I think that is social media doing its work and trying to. That's why it's really hard for creators to put their work out on social media because it's not really you're putting it out for. I wouldn't say a certain audience. The algorithm figures it out for you.
Right. It's not even fair. Because you're not reaching the audience that you want. Normally, people would probably dig it if they saw it.
Yeah.
And it's under somebody else's command if it's ever even shown in certain places.
Right. And you can't even tell.
Come on. It's the whole YouTube thing is so oversaturated.
Yes.
Your video becomes a sea of millions.
Right.
And so nobody even looks for it or sees it or you can
Right.
appreciate it or anything. So that was the reason why that the fall off was so easy, because I was like, if nobody's even paying attention to what I'm doing,
Then why?
and I have a ton of other things to do.
Yeah.
You know, so let me just go ahead and do what's important. I got kids, God damn it. You know, and at that time, sick wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the last video that I took real seriously and I dropped, and wasn't just playing around. It just didn't do anything, and I spent so much time on that painting. Oh my God, it was stupid how much time I spent on that painting. And it just, I got like to this day, I think it's almost 1,000 views. It was a Michael Jackson piece.
Which one?
It was called An Interesting Conversation. And it was a portrait of the Michael Jackson that we know with the light skin, looking and having a conversation with the young, dark-skinned Afro Michael Jackson. And they're in the garden and it's all pretty and stuff. And I just said that would just be an interesting conversation.
Right.
You know, if they both knew what they know, the entire lifespan of Michael Jackson,
Right.
and they got a chance to talk, young and old,
That's dope.
what would happen? You know, what kind of conversation? Would young Mike try to talk himself out of the whole skin nose thing? Maybe you shouldn't do this. Or maybe you shouldn't be saying this, or maybe just make music for you. I mean, it's so funny. I start thinking about really, really random things.
But they're just what if questions.
It's what if questions, and you get a chance to illustrate it.
Yeah.
And it's so, oh my God. Prime example. I don't know the name of this painter, so forgive me, but somebody painted, and I saw this and it just blew my mind of what you can get done with creatively. He visualized the room, the garage, and it was the death of Kurt Cobain, and it was painted. He made a painting of the crime scene, of the suicide, quote unquote, of Kurt Cobain. He painted the entire, what he thought happened based upon the investigative evidence and all that kind of stuff. He actually did his homework.
Okay.
And he painted that thing.
Wow.
The body, the brain, the whole thing. No censorship, no remorse. He just painted the whole thing, and it just blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, the balls, the audacity, the audacity. But he's an artist.
Yeah, that's passion.
That's passion.
That's passion. That's why art, period. No matter what medium you're using it in, art is amazing, and when you have passion for it, it comes out more than art.
I mean, my mind was just blown. Well, that's terrible.
No pun intended.
That's terrible.
I'm
so sorry. I did not mean that.
The audacity.
Let's go back to that. The audacity. God damn it.
Dang.
But I mean, that's the reason why I started the channel to begin with. The slogan was, stay positive and keep creating. And I might just bring that shit back because it's still reigns true.
Yeah.
There's so much negativity in the world. It's so easy to dwell.
Absolutely.
You can sit there and watch the news and you can be mad forever. You can be traumatized by social media. You can just look at your bank account and get depressed. You can just look at the horrible. And it's one thing I was trying to talk to Mimi about. And she understands it, but she comes from a different perspective. And I respect it because I haven't had her journey.
Yeah.
But even when the darkness crept right over me, I mean, the darkness could have a way of playing with you to the point where you actually think that you're seeing things, you know? And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So to live in it and soak in it for literally years.
And your imagination is so freaking crazy.
It makes things worse. And oh my God, I mean, it got so bad to the point where I'm thinking that not only is my family falling apart, I'm losing my mind, and I'm probably not going to be with my wife.
Wow.
She's probably going to leave us. I was very, very convinced of that. That is going to happen.
That's like, I can't even fathom.
And not only to think it, to know it's going to happen, but to literally see it. Saw her die. And that's why, thank you, Mimi. 110% again, one more time for good measure. Thank you for saving my wife's life. We tag teamed her real good. We did so good.
I can't believe it was just as we were leaving.
You guys left.
Just as we were leaving, and then got that call.
Blood, you guys were just there. Imagine the living room. You could see it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, I see us all at the table. I see us all at the table.
The following morning at 5 a.m. was a whole different scenario.
Wow.
We had firefighters, paramedics, all up in there. Furniture moved all around.
Wow.
And this is after Mimi and myself tag teamed and literally beat the shit out of my wife.
Yeah, y'all told me that story. I was like, how? How?
We did CPR and saved a human.
Yeah, how?
I can't believe it happened.
To keep your composure and get it done?
And this is my wife on the floor.
And you with your mom and your kids.
Blood. And I'll say this to my dying day. Mimi shot a red cape just right out of her back and became a superhero.
Wow.
She really did. I was a mess.
Wow.
I was a mess. But we both focused enough for it to call 911, actually said words to...
Yeah.
So shout out to the 911 receptionist, whoever you are, I don't know. Wow. There were so many people involved that saved her life so many times that I'll never get a chance to thank.
Wow.
I mean, the helicopter pilot. I mean, the whole thing was so kind of unbelievable. It's like a goddamn story.
Yeah, like you sitting there like, no way I'm really in this right now.
I mean, somebody said it before. They're like, well, why don't you just go ahead and write this? You're a writer anyway. So I might as well go ahead and say it.
That would be very deep.
It's such a bizarre story. It seems like a Lifetime movie or an HBO special. It's the way it happened. We're capping up the fact that my wife had 5 heart attacks in one day back in 2020. And it was such a mind-blowing experience. But my mom and myself brought her back after the first heart attack using CPR. And during that time, we called 911, and their response was so swift. They were on their job. Shout out to the 911 department over in South Lake Tahoe. They were in our place in minutes. But it didn't change the fact that we just saw her breathe her last breath right in front of us. I said, oh my God, like, Mom, look, she's gone. She's like gone.
Oh, man. Man.
Mimi was like, I remember she said, nuh-uh. And she started pounding on my wife.
Wow.
And I heard her ribs break.
Wow.
I said, Mama!
Yo, for real?
I heard her ribs break. Mimi was on it. She was the one doing the pumps, and I was scooping her mouth out and doing the breaths and slapping the shit out of her and screaming in her face to wake up.
Wow.
Wake up! Wake up! Screaming. Wow. But then the kids opened the door, and I said, shut that goddamn door. Shout out to Alyssa and Braden.
Oh, they were there.
They were there.
They were there.
They were the rock stars that kept my kids at bay. Imagine London. And this is not London, mature London. This is London that
There's babies.
I heard them start to yell and scream, but I can't pay attention to them. I'm too busy scooping, breathing, and screaming and slapping. And then we hear her gasp a little bit, and she's trying to, and they come through the door. I don't even remember anybody opening the door. They came in, and everything changed like in a second, because they picked her up and put her in the middle of the living room after moving all the furniture around. They opened up her shirt. She spread out 100%, just like a star. And they say she's gone. And they bring out the paddles. And I remember looking at my mom and saying, "Mom, is this real? This is 5 o'clock in the morning. Mom, is this real?" And she said, "Yes, baby. Like, you better believe it. Like, you better prepare yourself." That's why I said, "Is this real?"
Oh.
And they said, "She's gone." So when they said that, I'm like, okay,
no,
I know they only do this 3 times. They already did it once, and it didn't work. And then they did it twice. And by that second time, they got her back, but it was like a whole 4 hours had passed in between, because I was just on the edge of my seat waiting for them to do it again. But when they said, "We got her back," I damn near almost collapsed on myself. But just as fast as they came in, they got her out of there so quick. They got her on the gurney, covered her up, got her out there, and next thing you know, they're on.
She had to take a helicopter, right?
Well, yeah. At first, they had to get her to the main hospital in South Lake Tahoe. That was first.
And we were up on a hill.
Right. On the other side of town. So we had to drive all down, well, what was it? Yeah, South Lake Tahoe Boulevard, I think, or Highway 50. Wow. All the way down to hit the hospital, which is small, and it couldn't do what it needed to be done. So I get there and wait for an hour. They tell me that she had another heart attack right there. No, not at the hospital. In the helicopter. So I see a helicopter land on top of this goddamn hospital in the middle of South Lake Shore.
Oh my God.
And they say, "If you want to stay here, you can see the helicopter come and go." And they're like, I'm like, "Can I go?"
Yeah.
No. They're like, no. Meet us at Renoan Hospital in Reno. 2 hours away. You can't, there's no more room in this helicopter. And luckily, thankfully so, because it did happen again on the way out there. So they did CPR
on the helicopter.
And then when they landed in Reno, it happened again.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 4 times then. And I think 1 more while we were there. So that was 5 times in total. But then, what's so crazy is, I could say and then.
There's more?
That's just the beginning. That's only scratching the surface, because that was 2020. We have been sick for 8 years or 7 years before that. Right. So we had so many other situations, infections. She's had needles in her eyes. She's had so many things go on, but she's just been pressing right through it like a little trooper. She's just made of gold. But it's so crazy. That was 2020. She was at Renoan for almost a month, because in the first week they had to put her in a coma.
They had to put her
medically induced coma,
because she would have continued to have heart attacks.
They needed to, for her heart to calm down and heal. But then the doctor takes me to the side and says, "Hey, we're not sure of the oxygen to the brain. How long was she basically gone? We don't know if when she comes out of this coma, if she's going to be your wife. She might be a little bit of a vegetable. She might have lost some mobility. She might not even know who you are."
Whoa.
And so I'm like, tweak, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah. That is a nightmare.
But then she wakes up, and that was another dramatic situation too, because when she wakes up, I ask her to squeeze my hand if she understands what I'm saying, because she's barely opened her eyes. And when she does, that's when I really do collapse. But then I ask her the questions, you know?
Yeah, just to double check.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Oh my gosh.
Baby, do you know who I am? You're my baby. Oh, you goddamn right.
You better know it. Oh my gosh.
And the doctors told me to ask some really basic knowledge questions that she should know, right? Baby, what year is this? 19. Oh no. Oh no. 1997? I said, who's president? Bill Clinton. I said, oh no.
No
way.
no.
Oh no. I'm like, well, I saw my whole future like, well, I'm just gonna be a caretaker for the rest of my life, and I'm just gonna be there, you know, wiping her chin and making sure she's fed, and that's just
97.
it. 97. When she said 19, I was done. I was like, Lord forbid. But this is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
When we started telling her what the real deal was, she was like looking at us all crazy. Like, are you serious? 2020? Like, what? What are you talking? Like, what are you talking about?
No way. There's no
And she
way.
said, well, then who's the president then? And I had to explain to my wife that our president was Donald Trump.
No way.
Donald Trump?
No way. And this was in November?
This is in March.
Why am I thinking November? Why did I think, what were we celebrating?
My birthday.
Oh my gosh, it can't get any worse.
My 45th birthday.
The 45.
Yeah, the 45. That's why yes.
No.
I have a playlist called Tahoe 45 that we played the whole entire drive up to Tahoe, and it was an okay playlist, but it got tainted. All those songs that were on there got tainted because of this horrible situation, right? But I used the music, and I kept playing those songs over and over again. And while I was, talk about, I was a fucking mess in that hospital. I moved in. Kids came back with Lola, and I just moved into her room and stayed there for a month. Just slept on the couch night after night. But
staying at the hospital for that long is not fun.
It's not fun. I mean, I already have a thing about hospitals as it is.
Right.
You know, they give me the
They're
queasies.
terrifying, yes.
Can't relax, but then you got to think about it. This is March of 2020.
This is just the beginning of the worst year ever. Bro, March is when it literally began. March is when we all got the message that we're not going back to school. There's COVID.
And we're in a hospital.
Oh.
And she has a weakened immune system after suffering from 5 heart attacks.
Nah, you gotta make this a movie.
Oh my God. Oh. So crazy, right? I'm a zombie, literally. I'm walking and wandering around the hospital, especially when she was in the coma. I was just, everybody had went home. All the kids went home, Mimi went home, and it was me and her, and she's in a coma. So I'm really by myself.
By yourself.
But I am a zombie. There are so many things that happened. Do you know the song Show Me by John Legend?
Yes.
Okay. He asks a very profound question of, show me that you love me.
Yes.
Right? And of course, I'm questioning all of the piece of that. You know, like, good God, what the hell is going on?
No way this song makes sense.
Right? I got shown so much while I was at that hospital of God's presence. And I'm not a religious person, not at all.
Wow.
But when you see love and you see God right in front of you. There were so many things that happened. So get this. I'm alone. I can't sleep, of course.
I wouldn't think anybody could.
I'm a full-on chain smoker of cigarettes at this moment.
Wow.
And I don't get down like that.
Right.
So I am doing this for coffee and cigarettes. Just anything that could just get me out of it.
He was a zombie.
Fucking zombie. And so I keep on going to the roof of the parking lot. Oh, that was my safe haven.
Wow.
Where I could sit there and chain smoke. You know, that's so outside of my character.
I can't believe that actually happened.
Yep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm outside, puffing away, and I'm watching the sunrise, and I record it, because I'm recording everything right now. I'm taking pictures of everything and recording everything and posting, and I'm doing so many things. Everything counts and matters right now, right? So watching the sunrise, and it gets up real nice, and I'm like, oh, stop my video, and I start bawling. Just uncontrollable, nasty, snot, Viola Davis, the whole thing. Real nasty. And I'm not paying attention to nothing. And then all of a sudden, I get a pat on my back. And I'm not in defensive mode. Usually that stuff, you might get a swing.
Right. I'm at the top of a parking garage right now.
He taps me on the shoulder and says, brother, it's gonna be all right. Gotta have faith. And he keeps moving. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I turn around and I'm a fucking mess. Turn around and I'm like, who the? And it's some dude. I am on a empty parking lot, on the top roof of the parking lot of the hospital.
What?
There's no cars up there but mine. And he comes up there. He wasn't driving, dude. He came up there, patted me on the back,
and walked away.
And I still have my phone in my hand, so I took a picture of it. Just to make sure I wasn't tripping. I have a picture of my phone.
Oh my goodness.
Of his back while he just kept it moving. He wasn't doing anything.
I gotta see the picture one day.
And I'm tripping. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay, because I definitely needed that at that moment.
Yeah.
Right at that moment, I needed that shit. The very next day.
Oh my gosh.
The very next day, she's having a procedure done. And she's still in the coma situation. So I'm still, I'm messed up.
Yes.
They're like, sir, you can go ahead and be somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me go get my pack of cigarettes. And
the parking garage.
Right, here I go. I go and have a smoke, probably a couple more.
Wow.
And I'm not good with cigarettes. So it's giving me a fucking headache and all that kind of stuff. So I come back inside, and there is a beautiful grand piano in the middle of the lobby. And
I've never seen a piano in a church.
A hospital lobby. A public use, but no, it's not a public use. It's like you have to schedule appointments if you're a musician. It's usually covered, and don't play this piano if somebody didn't give you permission, but it's just sitting there, right? For days and days, and then finally, somebody's playing it. And I come in, and music's everything. So I'm like, please give me something,
Oh, he played the most beautiful thing you've ever heard in your life.
I have never heard something like this. He asked me if he could play something for me.
Wow.
And I wasn't sitting there crying or doing anything crazy. I was just sitting there, just
soaking it in.
You mind? Because he got my attention because I was about to record him because the music was so good. He said, you mind not recording me? My music is personal. By all means, do your thing. Stop recording him. And he said, you mind if I play something for you? I said, please.
Man.
Brought me to straight fucking tears right there. And I needed every piece of that. That's showing me. That's what I need. That's tailor-made for what I absolutely needed at that moment.
I'm not a big believer in religion either, but you had angels.
Oh.
You had angels crawling around that hospital.
So many.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that time, because she eventually, get this, she makes me laugh She makes me mad because I get on her nerves because I'm telling her to eat food and recover. She's like, I don't want to eat. You can't tell me to do nothing because Tessa is spicy. And so she's giving me all kind of attitude. So I'm like, you ain't got to tell me twice. So I bounced. And I had to for my own sanity.
Right.
I've been there for a month.
Yes.
I needed my kids. I needed to go home and wash my ass. So it was like so needed that I needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
But another thing that happened, which was so crazy, was I kept posting on Facebook. My mom set up a GoFundMe. I didn't even know she knew how to do that.
And she did.
Man,
that woman turned into a superwoman for real.
Yeah, she really did. And my friends and my family came through and donated like nobody's business.
Wow.
Thank you
Absolutely.
to all my people because they definitely came through. Something I never really expected was some help. And I was making these videos blindly, completely blindly. But that was therapy too, just grabbing the camera and expressing how fucked up I was, you know? Sitting there half an hour being a nasty, snotty mess, begging for help. And I got help. That's love showing up, you know, and I see it. It's tangible. But then to go home and Tessa sends me a post that says that they just put up bulletins the night I left saying no more visitors at this hospital due to COVID.
Oh.
The day I left is when COVID changed the world.
What?
I got home and
they told you can't come back.
She said I couldn't come back anyway. But good news is that she's getting airlifted from Reno to San Leandro, back home. So I'm like, all good news.
Okay.
A week in San Leandro after she arrives there, finally I pick her up and get her out of there. But COVID had already taken over everything. The kids' school shut down. They did everything through Zoom.
Timing is crazy.
She doesn't remember lockdown.
How far back did she remember?
She didn't experience lockdown. All she did was go from one hospital to another hospital and then to home. And
she just flew right over.
She didn't experience COVID like we did.
Oh.
All she knows is that the world is going through something, but she was more or less in the bed.
Because she had to be.
Yeah. She doesn't have any recollection of any of that. 2020 was really a blur for her, the first half of it. And when she came back was on Naya's birthday.
Wow.
On her birthday, the day before. No, on Naya's birthday. We're celebrating Naya's birthday. And I had surprised everybody by her being upstairs in the room. Nobody knew that I had picked her up overnight.
Wow.
And then I just brought her downstairs and they were like,
oh my goodness.
So crazy. But she was frail. She had lost all this weight. So it took all of that year to get her back to where she could be strong enough to be okay. But then on March 26th of 2021, she collapsed. We're back to square one. It wasn't a heart attack this time because in Reno, she got a defibrillator. She has a defibrillator right now.
Is that almost an exact year later?
A month in between. February 25th of 2020 is when the heart attacks happened. March 26th of 21 is when she went to grab the bathroom door, slipped out of her hand, and she collapsed. And I thought that she just fell. I've never seen her fall before in our years together. I've never seen her fall. So when she fell, I was like, oh my God, you know? And I picked her up and I'm like, are you okay? And she said, yeah. And she got on her feet. And the second I let her go, she collapsed again and I caught her. I think she started seizing up on me.
Wow.
And it was like no time had passed. We were just right. I was back in Tahoe.
Wow.
This time, no mom, by myself. So I'm freaked out. Call 911. They're all up in our bedrooms. Take her in. She's hospitalized for another month.
No.
Another month. This time, they don't know the problem. They don't know the issue. They don't know, they can't find what's going on. Why is she so sick? Why? Oh my God, she was in the hospital at least for 2 weeks with them trying to figure things out.
Who's doing tests?
Test after test after test. At this time, she was doing peritoneal dialysis.
What's that?
Peritoneal dialysis is at-home dialysis. So
Okay.
Even though you have kidney failure, you're doing all of your medical needs through a machine at home while you sleep.
Wow.
And it's not easy. You think that it's just because it's by when you sleep that it's easy, and it's not. It's really, really hard and difficult on the body. So during that hospital stay, she had to change from peritoneal to hemodialysis because the catheter wasn't working anymore. So that was surgery number 1. Then they removed her gallbladder, which was surgery number 2. And that was an emergency situation. She had a blood hemorrhage and needed a transfusion. Almost died there too. Angels are swarming around her, just constantly helping her out when it's urgent, you know? And I remember talking to the doctor one time. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, because they had to, during a procedure that was going to be easy, a gallbladder removal is supposed to be something that's local,
right?
You know? But it turned into a emergency situation because the doctor said, I've never seen anything like that. I just pulled from your wife. It was the most infected gallbladder I've ever experienced.
And this is after the many tests they were doing, so they couldn't figure it out?
Yeah. After all these x-rays and CAT scans and MRIs and all this stuff, and I'm like, you couldn't see an infected gallbladder, the biggest you've ever seen in your 20 years? I was so mad. I was livid. I mean, almost got into a fight with many doctors.
You better than me?
He paused for a second. He was like, sir, you have to come to grips that your wife is very sick. And I was like, well, yeah, you got a fucking point. Because she really was. Her skin was gray.
Oh.
She was turning gray. I was mourning her already.
Oh, man. For the second time.
We
can't even count on one hand no more.
Not at all. I'm really thinking that even if we survive this, we're not going to make it as a couple.
Oh, man.
I'm not thinking she's loving me anymore because she was too sick to. But what's so crazy is 2020 was the scariest ever. And then it got trumped, quote unquote, by 21. But I would never have gotten through those 2 years if I didn't almost lose my life in 19.
So you're telling me you got 3 years back to back of just
crazy, near-death experiences, but I was first. We had already been dealing with the kidney failure and dialysis and infections and stuff for 7 years. And then in 19, she recognizes the fact that I've been working my ass off, especially when it comes to these kids. I had already lost my job at the academy. Everything was for my family. So she calls it upon herself to treat me to something that I desperately wanted. Nerd City. She's like, what's something that you want? And I'm like, let me be the biggest nerd I can be.
Absolutely.
That's who I am. I love horror films, as we both do. Dawn of the Dead, 1978 or 6, one of them. The original, George A. Romero. It's one of my favorite films of all time. And they're having a reunion in the very mall that the film was shot in. But it's in Pittsburgh, across the country.
I did watch that at your house.
Yeah.
You showed me that.
Of course.
Okay. Because you said mall, and that whole scene just came in my head.
I don't think if you like horror films and you're around me, I'm going to make you watch it.
I think you are the only reason why I like horror films.
It's a very cult classic. There's only a certain amount of people that get it, But I get it.
Uh-huh.
And shout out to my boy Ryan, who introduced me to that film.
Okay.
Because I watched Dawn before I watched Night Of, and it was a different experience. But Dawn of the Dead is definitely my favorite horror film. And they're having a reunion in the mall.
That's dope.
I gotta do it.
That's dope. Yep.
So she flies me out to Pittsburgh, across the goddamn country, to go to a mall. It felt so strange. It felt so strange. Going to a hotel, and the next morning I was going to go to the mall, and I remember thinking, like, damn, I did just fly across the country to go to a mall.
I'm here now.
And I'm like, I'm going to the mall, and right when I got in, I was like, oh, I get it. It's the Dawn of the Dead mall. It really is. I was like, I'm home. I saw my people. Everybody was waiting for the festivities to arrive. I saw Tom Savini.
What?
Shout out to Tom Savini. They
had it all decked out.
This is the Living Dead weekend.
That's a big mall.
It's a big thing, right? And I walk in and I'm just like, oh, I'm home.
That's dope.
It's definitely worth it. And I have such a good time.
That's dope.
I see Creep Show, which is another one of my favorites, on the big screen for the first time. Came out in '84 and I was young, couldn't see it. So I had an adventure in a moment.
Uh-huh.
I saw Dawn of the Dead in the theater in 3D for the first time. Chunks are flying at the screen. Wonderful. So I meet some really crazy, cool-ass people while I'm there, and I get home on Father's Day.
Okay.
Ironic, Creep Show, Father's Day, the whole thing. You got to
Okay.
get it. You got to know Creep Show to get it.
If you know, you know.
Yes, indeed. And so I have a wonderful celebration with my family. They take me out to some dinner and have a really good time. But the very next day, I feel like shit. Like, what's going on? And I have a bump.
Okay.
I have a little bump, and it's like a pimple on my belt line.
Uh-huh.
Now, I noticed it in Pittsburgh, but it wasn't nothing. It's just a bump.
Right.
But when I'm home, it's not a bump anymore, and it's hurting. But not only that, I physically feel ill. So I'm like, let me get myself together. So I get up, and I get in the shower, and I try to get myself together. And I tell you, when I came out of that shower, I passed right on out.
What?
London finds me
What?
butt naked
No way.
in my bedroom, laid out. Dad, what the hell is? And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What?
And I feel horrible. She calls my wife. My wife comes from work, picks me up, takes me to emergency, and needless to say, they said I had a flesh-eating virus.
After you just came back from the biggest zombie convention. What?
Irony.
What?
Yep. And they had to do emergency surgery because the flesh-eating virus is close to my abdominal wall and it's about to break through and infect my internal organs. I'm about to die.
On Father's Day.
The day after. The day after Father's Day.
Still, that's crazy.
And they gotta cut it out, and they did. Oh my! I got shit. One of these days I'll show you the hamburger meat.
They took it out and you seen what
They just lasered it out, so you never see it. But they tore me up. I got a battle scar.
Ooh.
It was nasty.
So when they say you got a flesh-eating virus, is it an actual living organism?
That's the thing. I tried to do all the research I could.
Mm-hmm.
I only really found out the real reason last year because the whole time of 19, they really couldn't be clear about what actually happened.
What's up with the not being able to be clear?
It came from,
What?
How did I get it? Now, again, I go back to the higher power, and I'm not religious, but I go back to the higher power because in 2019, I was done. I was done with the sickness. I was done with the marriage. I didn't think she loved me. Pretty sure we were going to get a divorce. And I was talking a lot of shit.
Wow.
And I didn't understand And I didn't understand my wife's illness to the point of acknowledging her being really ill. I was an asshole. I had to go through something that put me down on my knees and told me what pain really was. And I was in some fucking pain. I had never experienced something like that before. But not only that, I think I had a different reaction to the
medication.
pill. Yeah, I was hallucinating.
What?
To a pain and medication. I don't take that hard of drugs. I don't even drink and all that kind of stuff. So when pain pills or whatever medication gets in my system, it gives me something. I was tripping from the moment that they gave me the first pill in the hospital, and then I became dependent and addicted to this pain med.
What?
Because I'm visual.
Oh, because it was just it felt good.
I was okay.
Oh, that's
I was completely hooked the entire summer of 2019 on a pain med. Because, now get this, it's gonna sound real trippy. Every time I popped a pill, I saw a little white girl on the ceiling.
What?
She would just be there, sitting Indian style on the ceiling.
Gosh.
I always thought it was weird, and I kept on seeing my own images, my own artwork, just doing whatever the hell it wanted to. Pink dragons, you know, things flying. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just on drugs.
Yeah, you was having a time seeing your
I'm on drugs. And then I remember one time, and shout out to Emily Wolf. She was my at-home nurse.
Okay.
She would come and see me every Wednesday and clean my wound.
Wow.
But when she got in there, that shit hurt.
I bet.
Yes. So one time she was like, make sure you take a pain med before I come, you know, because I'm getting in there. And I was doing that. And then after a while, she would come another week and it stopped hurting less and less and less. I was still taking those pain meds. So I remember one time I was like, oh, Emily's coming. And I wasn't feeling no pain. And it's like, I took one pill, took one more, and then I took one more. And I swear to you, I heard a voice. By the time I might have been zooted already, I don't know. I took that third pill, and it's like myself said, what the fuck did you do that for?
Whoa.
Why in the world did you just take that third pill?
Whoa.
And I was like, nothing. And you didn't see that. Little white girl on the ceiling was like, I see you.
Whoa.
Don't think we didn't see that. I'm like, I'm tripping. And I was like, okay.
Man.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I got a problem.
I just told myself, really just told myself.
It's like I leaned up by myself like, whoa, what you doing?
Oh, man.
I'm like, okay, I'm done. But I made sure not to take it. I went cold turkey and stopped taking it immediately, but I kept it. I still have some.
Wow.
I want to make sure that it's not an issue anymore. I still have it in my drawer right now.
Wow.
I'm like, no. You got to have some willpower because that stuff will have you seeing things. But
that's crazy.
I definitely had to go through that lesson to understand her pain and to know what it's like to be that sick that you can't do something.
Oh. And then followed by a couple triple years.
Years and years. And I'm saying, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Look at you. You couldn't do shit. And I got it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The lesson was very, very clear. And I was like, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I think that's the not the key to life or no shit like that. But there's so many lessons that are learned throughout life. You have to use these lessons to better yourself.
Absolutely.
So if you miss the lesson,
you will be tried again until you learn.
110%. And that's why people will say, why does this keep happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
You are not getting it.
Yes.
You're not learning the lesson. So yeah, the lesson you will keep getting tested as long as you keep missing the lesson.
Right.
I was like, hell no. There's no way in the world I'm going to still talk and act like my wife is not giving her all when she clearly is.
Right. And you know how it feels.
Right. And I got the scar to prove it. So I was like, okay, no more talking shit, no more asking more than she can do, cater to her, making sure she's okay. And then, by the grace of God, we go through those horrible trials of fire and test. But in November of 2022, we get the call. It was so strange. We had a coordinator in UC Davis for the transplant coordination.
Oh.
And she told us that things are getting better, you're back on the list. The moment she said we're back on the list, she also gave us warning that things are gonna happen fast.
Okay.
But then we didn't hear anything. So we're like, okay, well, whatever.
Right.
All right, we know that our anniversary is coming up in October. So, Travel Tessa just emerged immediately and was like, I want to go to Vegas. And I'm like, Vegas, baby, let's do this. We haven't been traveling for years.
Yeah, might as well.
And she's feeling good enough to travel. And we called the coordinator, like, we got some tickets to Vegas. Was that a wise decision? And she's like, cancel them immediately. So bummed. I was so bummed. I was like, oh, Vegas. And she said, go after. She kept on saying, go after. And I'm like, she knows something.
Yeah.
So we put those tickets on hold. They sat there, but we put them on hold. And we did celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary in October of last year. And we did it in a real small town, nothing to do, perfect.
Congratulations, man.
And it was a wonderful experience. But I also had a weird situation that had happened then too, because Travel Tessa didn't want to go home. She, right after we had that time in that small town, she was like, I'm not ready to go home. She says, babe, let's just go to Tahoe. And I'm like, it's like the record scratch. What you mean? I had banned Tahoe. Tahoe is the devil.
Yeah, we can't go to Tahoe.
Going back to Tahoe.
It's crazy.
Ever.
I was just about to go to it, and they just snowed in.
We ain't never going to Tahoe ever again. But Tahoe is special to us. We go all the time. That's where we really bonded. So,
damn.
She's like, let's just go. Let's just go. She's just so like a spirit of the moment. Let's just do it. Let's just see. And I'm like, that's major for me, Yeah. And she's like, come on, you can do it. Look, it's so pretty outside. This is like Tahoe weather. This is like Tahoe weather. Let's go. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So we drive the whole way. She's asleep. She's not tripping. I'm tripping.
The whole way.
And we make it over the mountain, and we pass the sign that says South Lake Tahoe, and I'm tripping. And she wakes up, and I'm like, babe, this is it. And she says, what? And I'm like, that's it right there. Behind those trees, that's the hospital. She said, what do you mean? I said, that's the hospital where you were. There's a hospital over there? And I'm like, and I swear to God, blood, I have the biggest, briefest anxiety attack.
Oh.
I'm driving, and it all really, really dawned on me. She didn't experience none of this. 2020, she took a nap. She didn't experience anything.
The helicopter flight,
Nothing.
None of that?
She didn't experience it. She didn't even know there was a hospital there.
Because she didn't even know she was there.
She went to sleep. She doesn't remember a whole 2 months before and after. It's a blank to her. All she remembers is waking up in the hospital in Reno. That's her recollection of the whole thing.
Wow.
So when we passed there, I had PTSD.
Right.
So I relived the whole fucking thing right there while I'm driving, and I burst out in tears.
Oh, man.
But just as it started, we rounded the corner and it stopped. It's like Tahoe said, welcome home. Sun was shining, the lake was all shimmery. It was like, cut out the bullshit, you're doing just fine. And look at her, she's great.
We're here.
She's fine and we're here.
Damn.
She didn't have another heart attack because we're in Tahoe. It wasn't Tahoe's
it's not
fault.
Tahoe.
I was thinking all this time, it's the elevation of Tahoe that made her heart beat and all this kind of. It's not any of that. We have a fantastic time.
Dope.
And then she's amazing. She's like, this is still our anniversary, right? And we go to a casino and we have a good time. Then we go and see the the place that we used to always go, Lakeside Inn, the casino. This was our joint. Every time we went there, that was the place we stayed. It is being demolished.
Oh,
right there. We drive on the lot and see the place crumbling before our eyes. And I've been just waiting to see this. This is our joint. This is our spot. And after years and years of us going, almost 20 years of us going there,
wow.
it's being demolished on the day that I returned. It's so ironic.
Man, the irony is crazy.
So ironic.
It's literally the lessons being told to you.
Right? And I mean, I've been dreaming about this place
man.
and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, it's literally being destroyed before my eyes. And right at that moment, she's like, you know, I'm hungry, you know. Let's go for our anniversary dinner. And she makes these quick reservations. And blood, I swear, we go to a restaurant, casino, and go up this long elevator. And the guy says, we're right here, sir. And we go to this magnificent view of the entire South Lake Tahoe. And they put us in the corner of the restaurant, right where the windows are. And I'm like, well, shit. Watch the sunset.
Oh, man.
I'm like, God.
And the last time you were in Tahoe, you was watching the sunrise.
See? I'm like, there's so many, and there's so much more that I can't put in this discussion because it would just keep going forever because there's been so many examples. My kids, they would do something freaky and I'm just like, good God. And now, and even Chadwick Boseman has something to do with our little story.
Okay.
Because we're sitting there in Wakanda Forever on November 11th of 2020, and we're watching the movie and everything's good. And Mimi's there, everybody's at the movie. So we never do this that often, especially with Mimi. She doesn't go out that often. We're watching Wakanda Forever though, of course, you know. And it's the tribute scene. And you know how that theater was when that came out.
Silent.
Completely
silent.
And the moment things start coming back on the screen, her phone vibrates. And she's not even gonna answer it. You better answer that goddamn. She goes out in the lobby and comes back out. And she's got an offer for a kidney. And so I'm watching the rest of the film like, tweet, 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 tweet. She says, don't worry about it right now. I'm like, are we leaving right now? We're going to go right now? You know, she's like, no. They said they're either going to call us in the middle of the night or they're going to be there in the morning. But we got the offer and it's going down tomorrow.
Wow.
Very next day, she had the surgery. And I mean, the doctor...
Wow.
Shout out to Dr. Perez, my God.
Wow.
And the entire staff at UC Davis Medical Center, they treated us very well. But the standard recovery for a kidney transplant is 3 or 4 days tops. We're special.
How would you get out there?
We were there for a week, and then we came back for a second round.
What?
Ain't nothing easy. And
a week?
We were there for a week. But the cool thing about Tessa is she's fucking strong.
Man, after all of this?
I was amazed by her strength the moment that she gave birth to London. And she was up the next day after having a C-section and carrying a little vial of milk saying, come on, babe, walking down the hallway. Let's go feed our daughter. I was like, oh my God.
Wow, so, Tessa.
Yeah. So in this situation, it's so it's bizarre to know that she can bounce back from a horrible, horrible situation and be okay after shedding a couple of tears. And it's been like, there's physical pain, there's emotion, there's depression, there's trauma, there's anxiety. I mean, and she'll, okay, babe, And she'll be like, okay, let's go handle this now. Let's go take care of this.
So rock. That's rock. That is a mountain. She is a mountain.
And so now I'm just at the point where I'm just grateful that we have endured this.
Yeah.
I'm about to send my daughter on a trip because she deserves every piece of it.
Man.
What London has seen and what she's done for this family is unmeasurable. I got the baddest 13-year-old on the planet.
I heard that.
13.
13.
Took care of her
Handling
siblings.
Business.
And Naya too.
Yeah, all three of them.
All three of them. They
All
really
y'all are troopers.
Max is a little handful, but even his little crazy self, what we had to endure made us stronger. That darkness is going to make the light shine that much brighter. I couldn't love Tessa any more than I do, and we're 31 years together. That doesn't make any sense. How
That's
can I be
wild.
that much in love with somebody
That's wild.
when we've been together since we were kids, babies? She was London's age now when we met.
That's what I'm saying. If y'all life ain't a movie, I don't know. There's no words. Like if you were to sit down and tell somebody that, they'd be like, Cap.
Yeah.
You lying.
I told that to somebody the other day, some dude around 2 years younger than me, and he was looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
Or each other's onlys and the whole thing.
That's crazy.
We both only had 2 boyfriend or girlfriends beforehand, you know?
Wow.
I had 2 girlfriends. And then I met her. And that's it. It's a wrap.
Dang. There's nobody, I don't think there's anybody on this planet that can survive like you guys did.
I don't know. There doesn't be, you know what? I give props to a couple of couples that I know that have been in the game for such a long time. Donna and Erwin Gill, they have been together since high school, and those are some older people.
Wow.
And that man just be chasing that woman around
Wow.
like they just, I mean, that when that love has been tested, it makes it that much more real. But regardless of that, it's a friendship.
Yeah.
We make each other laugh still, you know?
Damn. I
That's-
can't wait. I can't wait for that, man.
You're such a helpless romantic.
Yeah, I
It's
mean-
gonna happen so much for you.
I'm trying to hold that part of me back. You know, I need that.
That's the best part of it. She knows how to make me happy. I know things, little small stupid things that is definitely her cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know,
That
she'll-
only you know.
Yeah.
Only
And she'll
you.
give me that smile, and that smile still gives me the goosies, you know? And
That's
I'm
so
just-
dope. That's so dope.
I get surprised, and it's still happening. How can she still surprise me?
Uh-huh.
Having a clue. I didn't think that she was even made of the stuff that she's made of.
Dracula was the name.